Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 1 p.m. here in Chicago, Illinois. It means it's time for another live stream. Today is Wednesday, August 4th, 2021. I had to think about it for a second, like I do on most days, because I never seem to know the date. But let me confirm that. Yeah, August 4th, 2021. How are you guys doing today? It is a beautiful day here in Chicago. We've been having some really nice weather. Had a really lovely run along the lakefront with the sunrise today. Very nice, not that windy. So those days are always really nice. Hopefully the weather is nice for everyone listening on the podcast on the audio only version. Hope you guys are having a good run out there today. Hopefully it's not too hot and not too humid for you. And everyone listening on or watching on YouTube after the fact, hopefully you guys are at a point in your day where you can have a nice recovery beverage. I've got some coffee for myself, so that's what I'm enjoying right now. And it's definitely good to have coffee. We've been talking about sleep lately. Yesterday we talked about it a lot, and I've been doing better like the last 2 nights. So like yesterday when I talked about how I was not getting great sleep, I actually did have a decent night's sleep, not great, but decent night's sleep, and I had a above average night's sleep last night. So hopefully the trend can continue. All right, let's see who's here in the chat. We've got Emma Wilhelm saying happy hump day. All right, I'm getting a little bit of lag on my end. I don't know what it looks like for you guys. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Let me scroll down. All right. Yeah, so no one's saying that they can't hear me. So that's good. I'm trying some new equipment out today. Just a little bit of a setup, trying to streamline as much as I can streamline because, I've been having so many technical difficulties. And when we were in Iowa, I didn't want to bring like a whole second computer just for live streaming. So everything kind of suffered. So we'll see if I can kind of clean things up just a little bit. And hopefully it works well today. But good to see you, Emma. Glad to see that you've made it. Mark Chanko is here as well. He says, hello, been a minute. Vacation days are now behind me. Oh, awesome. Sorry to hear about that, but glad to have you here today. Let's move this a little bit. All right. We got Luis Becerra here. What's going on, Luis? Good to see you again. Vincent Benieres. It says, good afternoon, Cohen fan. Michael Sessler coming in with the giant super chat for today. Thank you so much, Michael. I definitely appreciate it. It says, sorry, I missed most of these. Thanks again for all of your content. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in every day. I know some of you don't make it in every day, but for those of you who are regulars around here, it's okay not to be here every day. I cancel days here and there too. So even I don't make it every time, but it's been really nice to have this community, especially as everything getting a lot of deja vu in terms of mask mandates coming back, things potentially some events are moving. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. Some events have been like rescheduled from October to next spring. That's definitely a scary, very scary thought. But the constant that seems to be here is everyone that's come into these live streams. So thanks so much. And if you're new to the live stream today, let us know where you're watching from if you're comfortable with that, or just say hi. Love to be able to say hi to you directly. All right, we got Jonathan Ward saying hello. Good to see you, Jonathan. JC is here. Robert Hodge is back. Says, what's up, co-fam? Hope you're all well. And Ina says, hi, Kofuzi and everybody. We're in 5 tonight. Good weather so far for our breakaway. Yeah, I saw some of the pictures that Ines had posted on Instagram. Lots of nature photos. Looks beautiful and relaxing. So hopefully you guys are having a good time. All right, let me scroll down at the bottom real quick. Just make sure I'm not too far behind what you guys are talking about in the chat, because I do kind of, when I'm looking at the side, I'm reading kind of like what's going on. I guess it's on this side for you guys. I'm reading like what's going on the chat, just to make sure I'm not missing anything. All right, Luis has some good news. He says, I got a place on a limited half marathon here in Tijuana. Now time to get ready for August 22nd. Good thing is the race is free. Whoa, awesome. Nice. A free race in person in Tijuana, August 22nd. That's coming up. That's in like 2 weeks. What is that? Yeah, like 2 weekends, 2.5 weeks. So better get ready, Luis. But I'm glad to see that you'll be glad to see that you'll be running in a race soon. I have been watching where'd it go? All right. Man, this thing is, I'm using my MacBook today, and the MacBook does not love the streaming software. Lucas H says, $4.90, gives a super chat, $4.99. Thanks so much, Lucas. Says, for the inevitable power bar mukbang. Yeah, so I think that's what the mukbang is going to be next Monday. I should probably go to the store. I've been going to the grocery store after swimming. The gym and the grocery store in the same building. So that's pretty convenient. So I'll stop by tomorrow after my swim. and see if I can pick up some power bars, because I feel like we need to revisit. I mean, I know some of you guys are still eating power bars, but we need to revisit power bars. I gotta see. I'm pretty sure that they have them there. If not, that'll give me enough time to order them for Monday. So thanks so much, Lucas. I'm looking forward to it. I've been watching a lot of the Olympics and the now that track is getting to I mean, there's already been some gold medal events. They're getting to finals in some of these distance events. We've already seen some finals. I've been watching a lot of the replays. I've been watching the NBC Sports app, and if it's buried, but like you can go back and watch. Like, I don't think they have like the entire library of like every day the coverage, but if you miss like the day before, you can go back and watch like by sport, so have it separated out. So that's pretty cool. The problem is like sometimes it'll say like one event and then it'll like bleed into several other events, so that's kind of unfortunate. But one of the things that we watched today was some of the rock climbing, because my daughter's very much into rock climbing. We think we're going to go rock climbing tomorrow. We're going to head to the gym. I feel like those days might be numbered, at least for people her age who don't have vaccines. So we're going to try to squeeze one more day in. So we're going to do that tomorrow. And it was fun for her to watch that. And like every time they fell off the wall, my daughter was like, yeah, they totally messed up. They shouldn't have done that. They should have gone this other way. And so it was funny to watch her kind of be like all snide about it. Monday morning quarterbacking rock climbing technique of these Olympians. So hopefully, I mean, maybe that's inspired her. That was my ultimate goal, for her to see some rock climbing at the Olympics and to see how like young all the athletes are, especially the women rock climbers. Like everyone seems to be very young, because it's like, it seems to be I mean, it's not a new sport. Climbing rocks, it's got to be a pretty old sport as far as humankind goes. But from like a television perspective, it's pretty new, I think. So should be fun day tomorrow. All right, Ariel Sagalovsky says hello, gives a wave emoji, says watching from San Francisco and originally from Chicago, Lakeview East. Oh, awesome, Ariel. That's where we are now, in Lakeview East. So hi and welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. Triboy Tri says greetings from Austin. What's going on, Triboy? Good to see you again. And Drew H just came back from the Wisconsin Dells. Saturday to Michigan, dropped by the area for a last minute stop to Navy Pier. Oops, didn't realize it was Lollapalooza. Oh yeah. Lollapalooza weekend is always just like pretty much like if you're into Lollapalooza weekend is an awesome weekend. If you're not into Lollapalooza, it's like a disaster weekend. It's just like, batten down the hatches and bunker down and stay away from everything. So hopefully it wasn't too bad on Navy Pier though. Like I feel like it's a weird combo to be like, yeah, I want to go to Lollapalooza and then also Navy Pier. I feel like those two things don't really go together, but I guess if you're coming from far away to attend Lollapalooza, then it makes a little bit more sense. So, but hopefully you had a good time, and hopefully you had a good time in the Wisconsin Dells. I love the Wisconsin Dells. I enjoy the Wisconsin Dells. I enjoy Lake Geneva. When you're in Wisconsin, you can also get Spotted Cow beer. So like, or New Glarus Brewing Company beers. So that's always another plus too. If you're into beers, hopefully you were able to have some of those when you're up there, Drew. Although Michigan's got its fair share of very delicious beers too. So I'm not trying to take anything away from that, but because you can only get New Glarus beers in Wisconsin, it's always like a nice treat when you're over the border in Wisconsin. Kyle Patton says, got a swim in this morning. Felt like I was struggling, but also swam faster than I ever have. Awesome. Cool. I had like I had a longer run today, and I switched up my schedule. I ran first and then swam, and then hoping that like then I wouldn't be in the pool at the same time as all like the before work swimmers. And so I ran first, and then swim, mostly drills, and it wasn't that long, like 30 minutes, a little bit more than 30 minutes. It's just like all drills the entire time today, and it just felt awkward the entire time. So I think I had a good swim today. I spent time in the pool. I splashed around a lot, drank a lot of water. A normal pool day for me. Hopefully you did better. I also saw I think I'm not the only one getting ready for the Chicago Triathlon. So like today when I went for my run, what's today? Wednesday? Today was a Wednesday. But going for my run today, I saw all sorts of like group rides. People were cycling, lots of people on bikes in a full kit. I didn't see that many triathlon bikes out there today, but I saw a lot of people in road bikes, like jersey and bike shorts, and then a lot of people riding in groups, and then a lot of people open water swimming today. So I saw a lot of swimmers, and I was like, maybe should have swam in the lake today. So I'm thinking, I need to get a wetsuit soon. Once I get the wetsuit, then maybe I'll try to make more of an effort to maybe I'll run to the lake and then swim in the wetsuit and try that out and see just how that goes. The tricky thing is that you got to do it on days where it's not that. I want to do it on days where it's not that windy because I'm not that interested in swimming in super choppy water because I'm just not that good at it. And I want to maximize my six. I want to have like good, open water swimming experiences. So, that's where the swim is at for me right now. All right, let's scroll down a little bit. Yeah, this computer is struggling. Dietman says, will you do a review on the Ultra Boost 21? I did do a review. I think I did a first run video on the Ultra Boost 21, and I got like 60 miles into it, and I'm not going to run that much more in it. It's not my favorite shoe. It's got too much boost in the back and not enough boost in the front. So like, I just feel like they've added, last year was like 40% more boost. This year was 20% more boost on top of that, or some sort of weird numbers. But I feel like there's just not enough in the forefoot still. And so it puts it in a weird spot for me. So I don't love it. I'm pretty sure I've given up on the Ultra Boost. I've been fighting that battle for the last 4 years. I've been trying to prove to people that the Ultra Boost is a legitimate running shoe. I'm ready to relent. It's not a battle that I'm willing to fight anymore. Let's see. Remy, what's going on? Remy says, dude, a wetsuit is going to make a world of difference for you. I mean, if you say, I'm really hoping for it, but I don't want to count on it, because right now it feels like when people say like, oh yeah, you're struggling on your 20-mile long run, but once you're in a race, you're totally going to do fine. It just feels like it seems like maybe it seems like a lot of promise. So I've never swam in a wetsuit before. I swam in tri shorts that have a little bit of padding in it, and I think are a little bit thicker, maybe a tiny bit buoyant. But yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. I think I may have a wetsuit coming to me soon, so I'll be able to try it. Let's see. So I have one from. All right, we got some more wetsuit question or comments here. Sorry, I'm like off my game because this laptop is just choking on this stream. It's not doing a very good job. Tony says swimming in a wetsuit is very different. Going to fatigue your shoulders, so you want to practice. Also get body glide, tri slide for your calves, forearms, and most important, back of your neck. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was watching a video yesterday on how to put cleats on bike shoes, and they were like, you got to get this chain lube, and I'm like, how many different kinds of lube am I going to need for this triathlon sport? I mean, I already have body glide, so it's not that it's a new thing, but yeah. Anyway, Triboy Tri says, how far into the back of my closet should I throw my Boston 10s? I don't know. A lot of people have been giving a lot of not love. I don't want to say hate, but not love to the Boston 10s. I'm pretty excited about it still. I've only run it the one time, and I think after the triathlon, I'll start putting in more threshold efforts, and I think that's really where it's going to shine. And so I'm not ready to give up on that shoe yet. So it took me 4 years to give up on the Ultra Boost, so maybe I will be wrong ultimately, but I'm still optimistic about the Boston 10. But soon, I'm thinking maybe Saturday, I might be running in the Adios Pro 2, and then the Prime X are coming in soon too. All of a sudden, like a lot of shoes are hitting or getting delivered right now. So I got a lot of videos that are coming up. A lot of new shoe videos coming up. I don't like it when a bunch of like new shoes hit at the same time, because then it's just like new shoe, new shoe, new shoe, new shoe. That's I don't like it. I like to spread them out, but they're just all coming in. I got to start running in some of these shoes. So yeah, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun videos. All right. Oh, here's one that I want to talk about. Mark Chancoco says the Warholm Benjamin 400-meter hurdles was another epic race. That was insane. Absolute insanity. I told you guys about this like a month ago that Karsten Warholm is someone to watch at the Olympics. He's insane. I like the thing that is disappointing about there not being spectators at this Olympics is the guy is a showman, and he tried to do like the Superman tear on his speed suit, and it worked except for like the top clasp was just like so obstinate and so stubborn. It wouldn't. I think he really wanted to rip that thing off, and he tried twice and it didn't go. So instead, it was just like the nipple show, which I thought was pretty funny. But he was so hyped up. I feel like if there were spectators at that stadium for his run, I feel like he would have brought out his Viking helmet. Because have you guys seen him in a Viking helmet? He's had that before at like a Diamond League race or something, where someone handed him like a Viking helmet and he ran around his victory lap in a Viking helmet. I just feel like that's pretty amazing. So I wish he would have trotted that out, but maybe since there weren't like, I think if he had like done a victory lap and like halfway down, someone could have handed it to him. But since I think with the way it was, there were like officials that would stop you from doing victory laps. I think there were people that were like, blocking the way. So that way everyone kind of stayed in their cordon areas. But that was an amazing race. The Sydney McLaughlin race was that last night. I saw the replay of it this morning. Also super intense. Yeah. She's just an amazing runner. So lots of great racing to watch. I just watched the 1500 semis. And it's just amazing to see that El Purrier St. Pierre came in. She didn't automatically qualify. Do we know if she made it into the final or not? But she came in sixth in her heat. And just to think that, like, I mean, she's been dominant in the US. And she just looks so strong. And to think that, like, man, she only got sixth in her heat, and she's been so good of a runner. Just goes to show like what level the competition is at. Jessica Hall was in that same heat. She came in third and had to run an Australian record just to get third in a heat. So like it's just absolutely that 1500 is just gonna be bonkers. So bonkers. So I'm super excited for it. The final hasn't happened yet, right? I don't know. Like I look at Twitter in the morning and I see bunches of results, but I'm like half awake, so I don't remember them. And I'm watching stuff on NBC, sometimes on tape delay or whatever. So it's just I'm all sorts of weight off. All right, so Jonathan Ward with the update says that Ellie Purrier St. Pierre, which is the most just regal name I can imagine for a runner, did make it in on time. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Kip says, I'm having problems with shin splints. Any tips? The first thing I would say is try to run on grass or soft surfaces if you can. Just anything to give your body a little bit more of a cushion when you're running. So softer surfaces. Other than that, I would say ice before. I like heat before, ice after. Or really just heat. I don't really do a lot of icing. But I like a heating pad, like the kind, like they're usually about like this big, like a little poster size, and you can put them on your back, but wrap your shin in them. That usually feels good for like 10-15 minutes for me, to just loosen everything up. And I feel like that really helps. And then ice afterwards, if you think ice helps for you. It doesn't tend to help for me, but that's something you could do as well. And then if all else fails, Advil, ibuprofen, if you want to do that, if it's really bothersome. But those are some of the things that I would look for. All right. Joey H coming in all caps, coming in hot. Says, hey, Co, remember me? You gave me advice on the mile time for CIF, and I PR'd. I'm at high elevation training camp now, and I look forward to your 100-mile review on the Boston 10. Awesome, Joey. Great job on PRing. That's fantastic. I'm on a different laptop today, so I don't have my cowbell sounds. I should just email them to myself, so I always have them no matter where I are. Sorry about that. All right. Let's see. Kyle says, Co, can we get a video detailing your experience with the Daniels plans? I'm on one now and reading his book, liking his mantras so far. Yeah, I can definitely do that. I'm sorry, this is like lagging. Are you seeing the same comments that I am? I don't know. I selected the Kyle Patton one, but it's not showing up on the screen. Yeah, there, is it there? Let me try again. What's going on here? I think it's just this laptop. Kyle said, yeah, Kyle talking about the Jack Daniels fans. I think I could do that. I can give you guys kind of a review, and kind of talk about like what the approach is. I can do that because I'm trying to think. I don't think I did his marathon plan. I think I did a Fitzinger's advanced marathoning plan one year. But I have been using it a lot for the shorter distance. So I think I can kind of comment on that. All right, I'll do my best. I'm not a coach, so it's like, I can tell, what my experience has been, and I know like whenever I try to do that and put those kind of caveats out there, people blow right by him and are just like, this guy's not even a coach. What is he talking about? So I'm like, I told you I'm not a coach, but I'll let you know what I think. But ultimately, like, I think that the Jack Daniels plans work probably better if you're looking at like half marathon or shorter. Or I mean, I feel like it gave me a lot of benefit in the speed work arena. I feel like some of like the marathon specific workouts were very vague. But maybe, and I think that's kind of his approach is like, just do lots of long runs for the marathon, but your workouts should be a lot more quality. And so he does have lots of good longer distance workouts. I think the only drawback that I have from the Jack Daniels plans is that like he assumes that if you're running more miles a week, and maybe this is the right way to do it, and maybe I've been putting the cart in front of the horse, increasing my miles before I increase my speed and power. But he assumes that if you're running more than like a certain amount of miles per week, it means that you are, like a 17-minute or a 16-minute 5K person, and I'm not, I'm not even close. So like you have to kind of like translate some of his workouts. Otherwise, it's going to be too hard. And so like, or not that it's too hard, but the ratios of work to rest won't be correct, and so you kind of have to do some translating. So that's the only thing that I would say. But I think it's worth making a video just because I've been kind of using Jack Daniels all year, so I do have some experience with it. All right, Lewis M says, I've been having an issue with rolling my ankle in a pair of endorphin speed. Don't know if it's how I'm landing or the shoe. Well, it is a tall shoe. I do feel like it has some stability. I think the nylon plate's helping a lot with some of the stability in it. Man, these captions on the bottom like that are just not showing up properly. I don't know, guys. I'm trying here. But I think that to get to the question, it's a tall shoe, so it could be that. It's something that I would watch out. If you've done it a couple of times, maybe it's something that you will want to be a little bit more careful of when you're running in it. So like, especially when you start getting tired, make sure you're being a little bit more mindful of your foot strike. But speaking of the endorphin speed, on my run today, I saw like 3 pairs of them, like in like almost in succession, like right away. I don't know, like I think I saw, I don't really, I didn't notice everyone's shoes out there, but I noticed like a bunch of endorphin speeds today. Like I saw like the 3 right in a bunch, and then after that, I just kept seeing them over and over again. It's strange, but it seems to be a really popular shoe, which I think makes sense because it's a great shoe. Mark says, I'm curious why there's not a lot of love for the Boston 10. Kind of a bummer. I even have an Adidas gift card. Yeah, I don't know. I think I still need to pick up the Adios 6 because the theory has been, although I think we've pretty much figured out that's not exactly true, but we're thinking that maybe it's the true Boston successor. But the Boston 10 is just very different, and it's a classic case of like, it's the reason why like a Mizuno Wave Rider is never really going to change that much, and like a Brooks Ghost is never going to change all that much, because like when you have something that has a big following, if you make it different, even if you make it better, if you make it different, it's going to annoy a lot of people. And so I don't know. I'm thinking that it's different and better, or different but still good. maybe good in a different way. But if you loved what the Boston 9 was, you're going to be disappointed. So I think, I don't know. I'm not sure. It might just be that the Boston 10 isn't a good shoe. I still need to run it a lot more to figure that out. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it though. All right, let me try to scroll to the bottom. All right, Sue Ann says, "Woohoo! Finally made it to a live stream again. Have returned to the office. Where'd it go? No, it just jumped. All right, just returned to the office for work a few days a week. Awesome. Well, hopefully it's a safe place to go back to work. I know a lot of people are going back to work at the same time. Things are kind of getting crazy in a lot of states. So hopefully you're being safe out there, Sue. And I don't know why that comment isn't showing up. Michael Martinez says, so if the comment's not right, it doesn't match like on the bottom of the screen. I'm trying, guys. It's not me. It's something else. I mean, it's me. I'm doing it. I'm messing it up. But I might just have to resort back to that old big clunky computer for live streams. Michael says, I want to try a carbon plated shoe. Where should I start? I mean, I think the best place to start for a carbon plated shoe would be some of the Nike offerings. So, like, I mean, it's expensive, but I feel like to really get a sense of what carbon plates are all about, I would say the Next Percent or the Alpha Fly, depending on if you want to run more like half marathons, or marathons. Right? I feel like the Alpha Fly is tuned a little bit more relaxed for me. I like it for the marathon better, and then the Next Percent, I run my fastest marathons in them, but I also feel like it's definitely tuned a little bit for a little bit faster racing. So I think those are probably the two best places to start. And then kind of everything else, I usually talk about all other carbon plated shoes in reference to kind of those two shoes. So I think that is a good place. Looks like my mom's here. Hi, Mom. How are you? Hopefully you're doing well. Runner Dre says, I'm glad the endorphin speed 2 are very similar. Hopefully they never mess with them. See, that's the thing. So like on the one hand, you've got like Boston 10 polarizing, or a lot of people are saying that it's terrible. And then you got speed, and then because they changed everything. And you got the speed 2 where they changed nothing. And some people like me are like, I didn't change anything. What am I supposed to talk about on the shoe? So like, it's a reviewer's problem, but a win for the consumer. But it's the same thing as like when the Epic React 2 came out and everyone was like, it's the same shoe. And then Nike was like, fine, if you're not happy with it, we will trash the shoe. No more Epic Reacts for you. And now we're like, give us Epic Reacts back. So like, I don't know what you do. But I feel like with the Boston was tricky though, because you named the shoe, they are not you, but Adidas named the shoe Boston. So you would think it'd be a shoe that's suitable, not just training for racing for Boston, but for racing Boston. And I think for a lot of people, it just didn't seem like it was enough to be a marathon racer. And so I feel like they tried to make it more racing. But I still don't know that I would I don't know that I would want to race the Boston Marathon in the Boston 10. I mean, if I were to run Boston, I would probably would, just because it's like, you're there, you got to show up. It's like when I go to like the pop-up races over the summer that Nike has been putting on before as a lead up to like the Chicago Marathon. You go to these Nike events, or if I go to like a Hoka event, and then people will show up. Most of the people are, kind of like, catch the drift. And it's like, all right, I'm at a Nike event. I should probably wear my Nike shoes. I should wear some Nike gear, or at least like unbranded stuff if I can, or like minimal branding stuff. And then some people are like, nope, I'm still going to show up New Balance head to toe, and it's like, cool, that's awesome. But it's just kind of like, all right. So I feel like the same thing with the Boston. If I'm like, I'm going to Boston, I mean, it's a different because it's a marathon, not like an Adidas event, even though they're the title sponsor. But like, I don't know. You go to Boston, shouldn't you wear the shoe called the Boston? Or I guess the better way to look at it, shouldn't the Boston be the shoe that you'd want to wear to Boston? That's how I see it. All right. Sean says, is there any going back to the good Boston, do you think? Or does Adidas just plow ahead with another thick boy for the 11? I'm guessing that there's going to be at least one more year of thick Boston, and then I mean, unless it's just like unless it doesn't sell at all, um, I have a feeling we'll see at least another year of it. I think that it's going to probably move in lockstep anymore with like the Adios Pro. So like it'll I think that they're going to make more of an effort to make those companions shoes. So that's what, um, yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. And everyone's saying like I'm glitching out. Yeah, I see it too. I'm not. I just think that this computer is not really. I'm on a MacBook and it doesn't like Chrome, and I've got it's a MacBook. It's got one USB-C port, and I got everything plugged into a hub. I'm just surprised that it's even working at all. So hopefully it can hang on for a little while longer till we just get through this experiment of a live stream today. Sorry about it. All right, Drew H says, long time Ghost user here. You recommended the Hyperion to mix it up. Love them fast shoe. Thanks for the recommendation. Awesome. I'm glad that that worked out well. Um, I have been very curious about the Ghost. I just finished saying that they don't ever change the Ghost that much, but they did change the Ghost up. I would say substantially or notably, in the fact that like it used to be two foams. I forget Biomogo or then like DNA something, and now it's all one of those foams, the softer one. And so like I really feel like maybe I should pick them up. Maybe I'll pick up a GTX version once it gets a little bit cooler, because the GTX versions always usually look really nice. So maybe I'll do that to pick them up. My father-in-law also picked up a pair of Ghosts, and he's been loving them. He's been absolutely loving them. And I have noticed that Brooks is like just taking Brooks seems to be taking over all the market share for like casual shoes or athletic-ish shoes from Under Armour, especially in back in Iowa. Like 2 years ago, everyone's shoes in Iowa were all Under Armour shoes. And I was like, where are you guys even getting all these Under Armour shoes at? I don't even see Under Armour. I mean, I guess I don't go to like stores, but I'm like, I don't even know where people are picking up these Under Armour shoes. But everyone had Under Armour shoes, and now everyone's got Brooks. It was a pretty fast switch, so it's pretty amazing. But yeah, people love the Ghost. My father-in-law has them, and then he was able to he has orthopedic insoles inserts that he needs. He's able to get those in there. And he's like, these shoes are so soft. They feel great. Normally he's been in like other like orthopedic shoes, and they look like orthopedic shoes. So like Herman Munster shoes. And he switched to these and he's like, these are great. I'm like, well, you look great. I'm glad you're feeling great. So more power to Brooks. Martha says the GTS versions of Brooks now mean stability, and I don't think you want those. No, I didn't mean GTS. I mean GTX. Yeah, like there's like a Gore-Tex version. I don't know if they call it Gore-Tex or GTX. I never know what's going on. And this glitchiness is really kind of like tripping me out a little bit here. But and I'm sorry about that, guys. I get another day with technical difficulties. I've been live streaming for how long? I still haven't figured it out. But yeah, they usually make like a weatherized version, and I did the Ghost 10. I don't remember which Ghost that I did. It was the last Ghost that I did. It was a winter version as well. All right, Jersey Rich says, "Yo, Co, how's it going? Still in isolation, but managing double days on the treadmill, shooting for sub 40 10K next weekend. Woo, that's gonna be spicy. It's gonna be fast, but double days on the treadmill. Oh, that's dedication. That's dedication. Oh. Phil Ortman says the New Balance Roab is the undisputed king of casual athletic shoes. Everyone in my office has a pair. I feel like that's a good shoe. I think I need to get a pair of those. I've seen people wearing them around. I'm like, those look great. Those look really, really good. Do they make them in like a non-laced version or like a stretchy, like a speed lace kind of version? I feel like if they did that, so they're slip-ons, that'd be killer. I think maybe I need to get a pair of those. JC says the Hyperion Tempo, speaking of the Tempo again, says Hyperion Tempo, the New Balance Rebel are the two shoes I most enjoy putting on and heading out. Ooh. So yesterday I got two packages from Roadrunner Sports, and one of them I thought was going to be a New Balance Rebel, but it wasn't a New Balance Rebel. So I was pretty disappointed because it was a shoe that I didn't ask for and I'm not that excited about, but they sent one to me anyway. But it's another shoe that the actual manufacturer itself had also sent to me, and I haven't tried on yet because I'm not that excited about it. So now I have two pairs of this one shoe. Neither shoe is the right size for me either. So I don't know what's going on with this shoe. I don't know if you guys will even see it. We'll see. We'll see. But I did get another shoe from Roadrunner Sports yesterday, the Pegasus 38, the regular one, the one that I've been waiting for like 2 or 3 months. Finally arrived yesterday. So I'll be running in that tomorrow. So I'm going to start my Peg 38 versus Peg 38 custom comparison. So we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping that there's a big difference. I'm hoping that I'm like, oh, this is great. This is what a Pegasus is, because I did not love the experience that I had with my custom Pegasus. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Kyle says, been seeing a lot more runners over the past 2 weeks there. I think people are starting fall marathon training. Yeah, there's just been a lot more runners out along the lakefront here in Chicago as well, which is always great to see. You know, as much as I love the feeling of like in the wintertime where there's like me and like the 4 other regulars that are out there and we're like, give each other the nod. We're like, yep, you are crazy too. And I feel like it's our path, just like the 4 or 5 of us. But it's nice to see just a lot more people out there. So I always feel like I love this time of year. All right. Oh man, this computer's not starting to throw up some errors. So I don't know how much longer we're gonna be able to last, guys. I'm holding on. Sean Marshall asks, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. I may just have to start reading you guys these captions and I'll be able to show them to you. Sean says, as a shoe reviewer, do you ever feel silly reaching for an old pair of shoes? I'm still on Peg 36 and I can't imagine you going for a shoe 2 issues out. Not that I feel silly. I just feel like I would be like wasting the miles, so to speak, just because every mile I count and I want to be able to log miles in the shoes so that way I can make it go towards something. So like I was just talking about this pair of shoes that I got 2 of them and I'm not super excited about it. Like having 2 is like the worst situation because then each shoe only gets like, you know, a handful of miles on it each, and it doesn't really tell you as much as it could. Or I feel like, you know, like that's why I don't run in shoes more than 100 miles, because I'm like, I need to get to other shoes to 100 miles. So like that's the main reason why I don't run in old shoes, is because like I have other shoes that I want to log miles in, so that way I can put together more complete thoughts on them. Even if I don't get to the shoe, you know, to 100 miles in a shoe, I still want to at least be like, you know, I ran 68 miles in the Ultra Boost 21. We were talking about that. You know, I'm not going to make a follow-up video on it because I didn't like it enough. But, I do feel like I gave it enough of a shot. You know, when I have a shoe that I'm like, it's been like a year since I ran in this and it's got 22 miles on it, I'm not going to keep running on it because I'm not going to get to 100 before the next one comes out. And so I feel like it's a waste of miles, so to speak. So that's the weird position that being a shoe reviewer puts for me. I don't know if all shoe reviewers like that, but that's where I'm at. Yeah, Sean says, I'm reading your response as it's inefficient. I have more shoes to run in. Pretty much. That being said, like, you know, it's also sad when there's shoes that I'm like, oh, I really like this shoe, but I can't keep putting miles on it because I need to put miles elsewhere. That also happens too, where I'm like, oh man. All right, let's do a couple more, and then I'm gonna like call the live stream today because this glitchiness is starting to like really bother me. All right. Let's see, where's one more? There was a question I saw up here. All right, Cal White says, hello, everyone. Or he says, hi, everyone. Sorry. Maybe a question for all. How important is a stretching routine slash warm up before going out for an easy slash recovery run? I've been struggling for time of late, 30 minutes max, stretch or no? I would say still stretch. Um, I don't like stretching, so I have like a mobility routine, things that I like to do, like squats and lunges and stuff like that, to get the body like limbered up. And I've also started incorporating some drills a couple times a week before my run as well, to help kind of reinforce good behaviors. But I think the mobility routine for me beforehand is really helpful, because then it just reminds me, it lets me know which areas are really tight. And as I get deeper and deeper into a training cycle, certain parts of my body will want to kind of like lock up, just because they're getting tired, they're full of lactic acid, and like that kind of thing. Not at that moment, but they've, had lactic acid flowing through. And so like I just feel like everything starts to lock up. You want to make sure everything can be as limber as it wants and has the full range of motion to do what it's supposed to do, how it's supposed to do it. And I feel like the mobility routine is good for that. And if all you got is 30 minutes, then I would say spend, the 3 to 5 is what my mobility routine takes, to at least get something in, and then you get a 27-minute run. I'd rather see people do that, um, than get 30 minutes with no mobility routine. And that's a big switch from, what I would have said like 2 years ago. But I ran into some issues where high mileage weeks and no mobility stretching, I feel like led to an overuse injury. And I felt like that could have been prevented. And the other thing that I will say is that, it was Matt Fitzgerald's book when he was embedded with NAZ Elite for marathon training season. He was like, he showed up one day to practice, like one of the first practices, and he just showed up. He's like, "I'm ready to run, guys." And everyone else was there, and they had like their yoga mats, and like, I don't know if you've seen those like octagon mats that all the runners seem to have now. They had those mats, and everyone was doing like stretching, foam rolling, massage gun, mobility. They were doing that. So that's what professional level athletes are doing before they start a run. They don't just show up and run and say like, "Well, I have really great form, so I know how to activate my glutes and all that." They're that's what they're doing. Not to say that that makes you a pro level fast runner, but people that need to take care of their bodies and depend on it for a living are doing that beforehand. And so I feel like, for us as non-elites, if we want to make sure we can continue enjoying our hobby, I think that we need to like take a page from that book. I think it's worth looking into. Maybe not every day, but make sure you're doing it at least a couple times, a few times a week. So that's where I would go with that. All right. I think that's where I'm going to leave it for today, guys. Sorry about all the glitching. Sorry about all the technical difficulties. We'll get it all sorted out eventually. Tomorrow's video, brand new shoe. It's under embargo. I can't tell you what it is yet, but it's off embargo tomorrow. So that video will be up, first run for that shoe. It was a surprise. I didn't think I was gonna like it. And for the first half of the run, I didn't like it. And then I started liking it a lot. So it should be a fun video for tomorrow. And then we'll do, you know what? I'm not sure if we'll be able to do it. I'll have to see the schedule for tomorrow. I don't think we're going to be able to do a live stream tomorrow. Um, I'm taking my daughter rock climbing while the baby has doctor's appointments and stuff. And I think that we're going to be out of the house at live stream time. So I won't see you for a live stream tomorrow, Thursday, but I will see you for a live stream on Friday, guys. All right. So Friday, 1 p.m. will be the next live stream. All right. In the meantime, be safe out there, everybody. Thanks.